Hello, hello. So today is day 16, and we've spent the last several days talking about what to do with NIL money once it arrives. Today, I want to take a step back before the money arrives, before you sign anything, because one of the most expensive mistakes an athlete can make isn't a tax mistake or a spending mistake, it's a contract mistake. And a contract mistake is hard to undo once your signature is on the page. Today, I want to walk through the red flags every athlete should know before they sign any NIL deal. So, question one: what's the first thing an athlete should do before signing any NIL contracts? Read it, all of it. I know that sounds obvious, but I mean, actually read every sentence, not just the payment amount and the deliverables. The payment amount is the easy part. It's the terms and conditions that are buried in the middle of the document where the problems live. If there's any sentence in the contract that you do not fully understand, that is a signal to pause, ask questions, and not sign. Question two: what is SPARTA and why does it matter? SPARTA stands for the Sports Agent Responsibility and Trust Act. It is a federal law that requires any agent who recruits or solicits a student athlete to be registered with their state athletic association. That registration has to be disclosed to you. If an agent approaches you and cannot tell you their SPARTA registration status in your state, that is a red flag. Before you sign anything with an agent, ask one question: are you registered under SPARTA in my state? If they hesitate or deflect, run very fast. So question three: what's a fair agent commission and when does it become a problem? NIL deal agents typically charge between 10 and 25% of the deal value. Marketing agents usually run 10 to 15%. General management agents usually run 15 to 25%. Anything above 25% is outside industry standard, and that alone is a red flag worth questioning. But here's the biggest one: an agent who takes a percentage of all of your future earnings, not just the deals they actually sourced for you, is a serious problem. You should only be paying commission as an NIL athlete on deals your agent brought to the table. So question four: what are the biggest red flags inside the contract itself? There are 7 I tell every athlete to look for. 1, perpetual likeness rights. If you see the word perpetuity, perpetuity, hate that word, but it's important, perpetuity, anywhere in the contract, that means they want the right to use your name, image, or likeness forever. Forever is not a term you give away in a brand deal. 2, broad exclusivity clauses that blocks you, the athlete, from working with an entire industry for years. Think of this as like an NDA. One deal should not own your category for the next 3, 5, 10 years. 3, vague payment terms. If the contract says the payment amount is at the company's sole discretion, That is not a payment term. That is a blank check they're asking you to sign. 4, transfer buyout clauses. If you enter the transfer portal, some contracts have clauses that require a buyout. Read these before you sign, not after you decide to transfer. 5, undefined morality clauses. Most contracts have them. But if the contract can drop you and keep your money based on vague language about conduct, you need specifics before you sign. 6, IP ownership of original content. Your name, your image, your likeness, your dance moves, your tattoos in some cases. If they want to own we lost signal. Welcome to the world of technology. So let's go back to number 6. IP ownership is where I believe my signal dropped. So we're going to go back over that. IP ownership of original content. Your name, your image, your likeness, your dance moves, your tattoos in some cases. If they want to own original content you create, that content has value. Negotiate it. And then 7, no exit clause. If there's no way out of the contract and the relationship goes south, goes sideways, real fast, you're stuck. Always, always, always negotiate a termination provision. Question 5. What about IP clauses specifically? Well, IP stands for intellectual property, and it covers more than most athletes realize. Name rights, image rights, likeness rights, social media content ownership, music and audio in videos, the rights to those that you create. One sentence to remember: if they want it forever, it's worth more money. I'm going to say it again. If they want it forever, it's worth more money. Don't give away long-term contract rights for a one-time payment. Negotiate a time limit on any IP clause and be specific about exactly what you're allowed to use or what they're allowed to use and for how long. When should an athlete hire an attorney to review a contract? Any contract that exceeds $10,000 in total value. Any exclusivity clause lasting longer than 6 months. Any contract involving a percentage of future earnings. Any agent agreement before you sign it. Any collective deal with a buyout or a confidentiality provision. And any contract where you do not understand every sentence. Here's the part people don't realize. A flat fee contract review from an attorney typically costs between $200 and $500. That $300 review could save you from a $50,000 mistake. And one more thing. Any attorney who charges you a percentage of your deals is a conflict of interest. That's not how legitimate contract attorneys work. So then the last question. What's the simplest rule an athlete can carry into every contract conversation? If you don't understand it, don't sign it. Not I mostly understand it. Not I'll figure it out later. Every sentence. You have the right to ask questions. You have the right to request changes. And you have the right to say, I need a few days to review this with someone. Any brand or agent who pressures you to sign immediately without time to review is not a partner you want. Urgency in a contract negotiation is almost always manufactured. So NIL deals are real opportunities, but an opportunity you don't fully understand is just a risk with a good headline. Read every word, ask about Sparta, watch the commission structure, look for those 7 red flags, and if the contract is big enough, spend the money on an attorney. Protecting what you built starts before you sign. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.